For those of you who don't know me, I'm Destiny Berman, and I am a digital strategist for holistic healers and life coaches who are looking to bring their life's work, looking to bring their business online. It's really as simple as that, and I want to help you scale and leverage both your teachings, your wisdom, and your business. So today's topic is all around niching. And we often hear this idea of why it's so important to niche and why it's so important to speak to a specific person. But it's really critical when it comes to launching that we are specific and willing to be narrow and willing to go deep. When it comes to niching, it can be niching down in terms of product or service or niching to your audience. And what I mean by that is you can be really specific in terms of the audience that you're speaking to, or it is your specific product and service that is a niche. I'm going to give you an example in each so this becomes clear. For most of us in the teaching, in the coaching space, you are niching to an audience. So that's probably going to be most relevant for you. And there are times where it makes sense to really niche the product or the service. Now, the reason why narrowing down really helps you be more successful, and I'll go into the reasons, but there are more than 4 billion people who are online today. And if you are launching an online spiritual business or you are adding an online revenue component to your business, you've got all these people online, so the market opportunity is huge. But if you're not clear on who is it that you're speaking to or how narrow of a focus your offer is, it's not going to get heard. And the right people, meaning the people you want to pay attention, you want to be paying attention to you, the people who are most aligned and resonant with your work are not going to be paying attention and listening. There's so many distractions going on these days, and we're all fighting for attention. That's why attention arbitrage is actually a term. So we think, and this common misbelief that comes up when it comes to niching is that we think by narrowing ourselves, we're limiting. And I often think about the example of Anastasia, and I don't know if any of you use her eyebrow products, but Anastasia, she's always in the Forbes articles when it comes to self-made woman. And she creates the eyebrow products that many of us will see online or when we walk into a Sephora. And I remember many years ago thinking, wow, isn't it interesting that this super successful self-made woman created a whole product line starting from just eyebrows? I mean, how narrow and how specific and deep is that? And she is an immigrant. She's from Romania. And I remember when I was checking out her story, and today her net worth is estimated to be $1 billion. Her net worth is estimated at $1 billion. She's always in the Forbes self-made woman articles year after year. And I remember when I was checking out her story, and she was looking to launch in Beverly Hills in LA a service all around shaping eyebrows, because one, this was her passion. This was where her expertise was developing. It's really what she cared about. So she had all this expertise and passion towards shaping eyebrows, and she wanted to create services that was just for eyebrows. And the feedback she was getting from people was, you're never going to make money only focusing on eyebrows. And look at how wrong they were. The second example I want to give you is actually with myself. When I left companies, I guess it's coming on 5 years now. My goodness, time flies. My toddler is almost 3. When I left companies and I left that world, I was really looking at who I wanted to service. And initially, I focused on yoga teachers. And actually, my first handful of clients were all yogis. So I didn't even go into the astrology space or the Hay House or intuitives or crystals. I started out with yoga teachers. And I remember when I was experimenting and putting this idea out there, people, especially in my old world, were telling me, well, there's no money in the yoga industry unless you are creating apparel or you're like a Lululemon. And are you crazy, right? Given I was working with these huge brands and had all this corporate professional experience. But in my guts of guts, I knew that that's where my passions lied. And I just knew there was something here because I saw how transformative and how big the e-learning space was getting, could feel it, even if I couldn't quite put my finger on it. I knew there was a need and a gap in the marketplace, and I knew that's where my passions was. So I started reaching out and started talking to people. And I remember in that first 12 to 18 months, we drove some of the biggest program launches in the yoga space at the time. It could still be the biggest, I just haven't tracked. And we created really mutually beneficial partnerships that was prosperous for both of us. And we got work out there that students otherwise wouldn't have benefited from. So it was really amazing. And I remember people looking at this and they were so surprised at what we were able to turn out in actually in a very short period of time.